Hello.
Hi, guys.
Hello. Today we are talking about stop asking what's for dinner. Did you bring your Cliff Notes?
No, because I think Michael said something different, so I didn't know what we were talking about for sure.
Okay. Cheap, easy meals on a budget. So we are the authors of the Dining on a Dime cookbooks. This is volume 1 right here, volume 2, and then our gluten-free, dairy-free edition, which is on sale right now for Mother's Day. But everyone keeps telling us, how do I make cheap meals on a budget? So we're going to go through that today. And it's not about sitting down and planning your meals out for the month. I have never done that in my entire life. I haven't even planned out meals for the week. I haven't even planned out meals for 2 days. I don't plan meals, and I don't like to plan meals. Now, I get some people like doing that, and that's fine. But if you need meal plan ideas, Dining on a Dime, Volume 1, right at the front here, we have a whole list of, I think, 6 pages for every thing you need. Poultry, breakfast, beef, meatless, pork, miscellaneous ones. They're all in here if you need meals already pre-planned. They're super easy. They get you in and out of the kitchen fast without spending a lot of money on groceries. Now, Karen says, I asked my hubby, what do you want for dinner? Yes, there you go.
That's a typical, yeah.
Okay, so the way we do it to save money is we buy all our food on sale, and we just keep our pantry and our freezer and our refrigerator stocked with the common food items that we always use. And then every day, I just plan what I'm going to eat, like that morning or at noon, what I'm going to eat that night based on what I need to use. It's not frugal to make a week's worth of meals, go to the grocery store and buy all this food, and then have food that you actually need to be using up in your house.
Mm-hmm.
So the biggest way is to keep your pantry filled with items that are on sale and just cook from what needs to be eaten right then. If I have stuff in the refrigerator, that's where I start. I look at what's in the refrigerator that needs to be used up. Do I have extra meat, cheese, vegetables, whatever that I need to use up first? And then I base my meal around what I need to use up first. So an example, I have broccoli in there that I need to use up. Okay, so right there is going to be my vegetable. I had 2 chicken breasts. Decided to make chicken curry because I haven't had it for a long time, which, by the way, if you're wondering, is in Dining on a Dime, Volume 2. And then I'll just add a fruit to it. Super easy. I didn't spend a whole lot of time stressing over it. It cost us about $5 for the entire meal to feed 4 people. And I'm ready to go. It took me like 5 minutes prep time, and that was it. So the biggest thing is people make it way too complicated. They see all these recipes on Pinterest. I was going to say magazines. That tells you how old I am. In Pinterest and Facebook and all this kind of stuff. And they're like, oh, this looks great. Like I saw the cinnamon roll hack yesterday. It's your cinnamon roll sticky bun recipe, which, by the way, is in Volume 2 if you need it. Where you take canned cinnamon rolls and you use the sauce from your sticky buns. Mm. And it's a magic cinnamon roll that's going around the internet. Well, Mom's had this recipe for what, 50, 60 years? Mm-hmm. And it sounds all nice and good. But as I was adding up those cinnamon rolls, they were 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It was close to $15 mm-hmm. for easy canned dessert.
Well,
I was like, whoa.
Part of it is to keep it simple. Keep the meals simple. You don't need a whole bunch of different dishes, and then keep the recipes simple, like what you were talking about, with simple, easy ingredients. I was noticing today we have a lot of 3-ingredient recipes on the website.
Honey baked chicken, maple glazed chicken. All of those
they're
are
in
super
the
easy. Yeah.
cookbook too. They're just 3 ingredients. The more ingredients you get, like with the cinnamon rolls, it starts adding up. The cost starts adding up. So try to keep all your recipes as simple with as few ingredients as possible. And then don't have like 7 different dishes for your meal on top of that. You only need 2 or 3 dishes, and that's it. Most of the time you can have a good balanced meal with just like a casserole and a simple salad, something like that. You don't need a whole bunch of dishes. That just adds more work, more money, and the recipes need to be very, very simple. I mean, instead of having like a large salad that you put like tomatoes and cucumbers and green peppers and carrots and celery and a couple of extra things in there like that, which is really yummy. But instead of doing that, you can just have like a sliced cucumber with some sliced green peppers or sliced tomatoes, just a couple of those, And so those are easier to fix. So it makes the meal easier to make and takes less time and it costs less.
Guys, our cookbooks are 40% off right now for Mother's Day. We only do this twice a year, and we only have 24 hours left, so be sure to pick it up today. Roasts. That's like my go-to as easy as you can get meal. I keep roasts in my freezer. I will throw it in the crock pot or the Instant Pot, whichever. Throw it in the crock pot in the morning. With an onion and some seasoned salt, you could put some cream of mushroom soup on top or some cream of chicken soup on top. Works really good too. And just let it cook all day on slow. About 2 or 3 hours before it's done, I'll just throw in my potatoes and carrots, and I literally spent less than 5 minutes cooking dinner. And yet, I have pre-cooked meat, not leftovers, pre-cooked meat for the next 2 or 3, 4 dinners where I'll make fajitas or beef and noodles or mom's stew in volume 1 is really, really good. Mom's stew is different than other stews and it's really good. And then I don't have to cook the meat and it's already cooked. That's the part that usually takes the longest is cooking the meat. And so if it's already cooked, then I can throw all those things together in 5-10 minutes and be out of the kitchen. As soon as my kitchen remodel is done, we're going to do a few videos showing how I do that, because what we find is people make things too complicated. So let's say for baking, they get a bowl and they mix all the dry ingredients. This drives me nuts, but they get a bowl when there's instructions like this for cooking shows. Get a bowl and put all the dry ingredients in one and whisk it all together. Okay. Get a bowl and put all the wet ingredients, whisk it all together. Let's say you're making a cake. Why? Put all your dry ingredients in, whisk it, then put all your wet ingredients in, whisk it, and you don't have extra bowls. I know people who actually cook like this, where they take the little bowls and they put each individual spice in a little bowl. Don't keep making more work for yourself and more dishes.
Because they've seen people on TV and stuff do things like that. And like it says, you're supposed to add beaten eggs, beat the eggs up, put them in a dish and beat them up before you add them to the batter or whatever. All what I do is just put the eggs on top of the batter and take my mixer and kind of whip it with my mixer gently, and that beats them up. And then I start beating down deeper into the batter. So I think it'll be fun if we can show how to do some things like that, because you save not only time, but you also, you save time mostly because then you don't have to do the dishes, clean up extra dishes and all that type. I don't blame people for not wanting to cook after watching cooking shows and how some people demonstrate to do this stuff. It is so much work sometimes, you just kind of just throw up your hands and say, I don't want to do all that.
Well, and double cook batches. Now, I'm not a freezer cooking Frida.
Freezer cooking Frida. You took a lot of work to come up with that one, that's for sure.
I sucked a lot of brain cells right there. Let me tell you.
I think you did.
We've only got 3 left.
You got 3 left.
So this is going to be an interesting show.
Yeah, it will be.
There's my new YouTube channel, Freezer Cooking Frida.
Oh.
Or not Freezer Cooking Frida. But I do things where I will make brownies. It takes as much work to make a double batch of brownies as it does a single. So I'll double batch the brownies, throw them in the other second batch, cut them up and get all ready, throw them in the freezer, and then just pull them out when I need them. Double batch cook my meats. Then I always tell you guys, I pre-cook all my ground beef. I buy usually no less than 5 pounds. I've done 3 pounds occasionally, but usually I get the 5 to 10 pounds. And I just cook that all at once. Pre-bag all of my little hamburger packets in a fold top sandwich bag, then put all those in a freezer bag, and then I just pull one out. That is 3/4 pound of meat for my family of 4 for dinner. It's plenty of meat. And then it's all cooked. So when I'm making hamburger casserole, which is in volume 1, this recipe is also livingonadime.com.
That's a good casserole, guys. If you've tried that casserole, let us know if you know what you thought of it.
I boil the noodles, throw in the hamburger. Not even defrosted. After the noodles are boiled, I throw the hamburger in. The heat defrosts the hamburger while I'm getting the can of tomato sauce opened, and I'm sprinkling in my spices and shredding up my cheese and putting it in there. By the time I do all that, the hamburger is almost or totally defrosted. Mix it all together. One pan, no mess, but the one pan and one spoon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's all I have. And if your hamburger doesn't quite get defrosted, just turn the heat on low for a minute and it'll defrost really quick.
And do a lot of the meat cooking is the main thing I do. I don't do big meals, like a month's worth of meals all cooked together, but I do like keeping meat, cooked meat, like Tara was saying. But another thing, if you fix, say, ham a couple nights before and you've used it, and you maybe have a cup or 2 cups of ham is all that's left, put those little bags of the ham or turkey or chicken or whatever it happens to be in the freezer. And then like some night you maybe are just really tired and you're just going to have scrambled eggs or omelets, you can just pull that little packet of ham out and add it to that. Or boil up a batch of noodles and throw like the Shayla's ham and noodles in there. It's a real easy one where you
Volume 1.
Yeah, where you just do the noodles up and then you have like cheese and ham, toss it in there, and voila, you've got a meal with only one pan again, that you need to do. So those little packets of leftovers that people don't like to use up, you put those cooked meats in there. If it's turkey or chicken, maybe you're going to have like a Cobb salad or a chef salad. You can just pull those little packets out and they're perfect. They're really easy just to sprinkle on one of those salads, and that's a full meal for you then.
Yep.
So
Under the Median, hello guys. You're doing so good with your channel. Supper tonight is baked potatoes topped with leftover chili and diced onion. Yeah. It is not complicated.
Yeah, it's really easy.
And it really frustrates me when people complain about how their grocery bills have gone up. Mike and I were talking tonight. Bread has risen 50% since COVID, that thing going around, started. In 2019, I paid 88 cents. And it's $1.34 now. That's a 50% rise in price, I think, if I'm doing my math right. But $1.34 for a loaf of bread is still not going to break anybody's bank. It's not. And the problem is, and we keep going back to this, I know, again, I'm a broken record, but it's just what you're buying at the grocery store. It has nothing to do with the prices. It has everything to do with all the junk food you're buying. And if you would stop and cook meals at home, your family would be more filled up. They wouldn't be hungry all the time. They would be more satisfied than all of the junk that they keep eating that never satisfies them. A baked potato with chili and onions is going to satisfy way more than potato chips, probably an entire bag of potato chips. And so, the problem is people keep making their meals too complicated, too many dishes, And they're not simplifying things. So then they get overwhelmed and they think that it costs more, and it's just not true.
And use the leftovers. Stop throwing your food away. For example, like with the chili, if you had a little bit of leftover sausage, that would be really good to put in a package and leave in the freezer. And then when you make chili, toss that little bit of sausage in there to go in with the hamburger or whatever you have in the chili. Mm-hmm. So all those little dabs of things, they're really good to use up for like with the baked potato stuff and things.
Go ahead and put your questions and comments in the comment section, guys. Mike will send them to me. Can you send them to me, Mike, please? Under the median says, do you look at leftovers and immediately know 3 or 4 ways you could use them? Yes, she said that's how her brain works. Yeah, that's how my brain works. I don't plan my meals. But if I cook the roast, then as I'm putting up the leftovers, I look and see, okay, there's a can of green chilies. So I'm going to make fajitas. Oh, I forgot the green chilies. Somebody from Australia. Oh, there is a can in here. I'll have Mike get it. Somebody from Australia said, what are green chilies?
Oh, yeah.
So I'll have Mike grab that if you're watching, and make fajitas or some sort of Mexican food or a Mexican casserole or something. And then I know, oh, wait, I don't have egg noodles, but I've got pasta noodles. So I'll use leftover roast in the hamburger casserole, and it tastes really good. It adds a lot of flavor. And if top shelf right up there.
If you're just starting to cook too, and you think, well, I don't know all these different things I can use them in, just start taking, and when you make a meal, write on the card, write out on a little card or on a list in a notebook or something. Okay, I use leftover such and such in this in this meal. And so if you can't always remember, because with chronic fatigue or something, sometimes you can't remember all this stuff, just write it down every time you cook a meal and there's something in there that you could use, maybe leftover roast or leftover chicken for, and then once you use that a few times, you'll start remember this, and it'll be much easier. You'll be able to name them off like Tara does, or a lot of people that have been cooking for a while.
But just think, beef is beef. Hamburger is just a ground up roast or ground up steak. That's all it is. Mm-hmm. So what I do is, let's say I don't have ground beef, but I want to make hamburger casserole. Then I would just finely cut up my roast and put that in there in the place of ground beef. So you pretty much substitute beef for beef, chicken for chicken. If it calls for chicken breast, you can almost always use thighs and drumsticks. Pork loin can be substituted for pork chops. So just start experimenting. A lot of times, like with the green chili recipe, it actually calls for pork, but I use chicken most of the time because Mike doesn't like pork, so I don't buy it that often unless I just want to eat some for lunch or something. And so that's how you kind of just get started.
Yeah, and like if you have a leftover pork chop, you can dice that up and put it in the green chili. Mm-hmm. You don't have to have like a pork roast or something. You can do it in green chili like that.
Yeah, Candy says too many people think leftovers means eating the exact same thing for 3 days in a row.
No.
I very rarely do that.
When I do that, it's because I love the leftovers.
I want to
eat I like a turkey sandwich after Thanksgiving, or something like that. Mm-hmm.
Okay, the questions just came in. So guys, post your questions in the description. By the way, 40% off, guys, for our Mother's Day sale. Only 24 hours left. We only do this twice a year, so grab it now if you want 40% off. Here is what green chilies in America look like in the can. Let's see. Will it go in? Has to be covering most of the screen. Or it's going to let me cover mom's face.
Cover mom's face. That's what Michael said. Cover mom's face.
Okay, there we go. Dried green chilies. That's what it looks like here in America. Ingredients are green chili peppers, water, salt, and citric acid to preserve it.
So if you can get green chili peppers, you can have them fresh. Use fresh ones.
They are, let me cover mom's face again.
Thanks a lot.
And let's see, well, focus. Hello, focus. You are getting closer. Okay, there. Now you can see on the hot to mild scale, they're on the mild.
Mild.
Even though this says fire roasted. That just means they're roasted over the fire. They're not actually hot.
But you could use fresh ones if you needed to.
Yes.
Canned ones are just more handy to keep on hand.
Yes. That's why I do it. Okay. So for all of you Australians and whoever else in the world who doesn't know what those are. Cindy's home. She actually made it live. Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. Give me a thumbs up.
You guys
also
are doing really good staying with us.
And Jane said, finally catching you live. And Millie says, we're the best.
Thank you.
Tammy says she bought a roast and cut it in half and cooked it yesterday. Today we have fajitas. Tomorrow I'm using the rest for breakfast and the other half is still in the freezer. Get 6 meals. Yeah, I do that all the time. Yeah, all the time. Wanda, did you get my email about your mouse problem? I sent you an email. Wanda, sometimes I'll make a quick list if I have foods in the fridge that I need to eat so I don't forget them. Yeah,
good idea.
Nancy, I don't plan meals either. Tried it years ago and found stuff in the refrigerator wasn't getting used. Yep.
That happens a lot when you plan meals and you buy things that aren't on sale a lot of times. Because you've got it on the list, so you need to buy it because it's on your
If you do
list.
like meal planning, then you need to wait till the ads come out and see what's on sale.
Yeah, that's a better way to do it.
But I don't like being stuck in the trap of only eating, if only pork chops are on sale this week. Well, I don't want to be stuck in that. That's why I buy when it's on sale and throw it in the freezer later. Under the Median says cheap filling meals are totally possible even with a family.
Oh yeah.
Sandy says we try to pull something out of the freezer the night before. Yes, that's the biggest tip of anything is to get it defrosted the night before.
Plan the night before what you're going to have and defrost the meat. And actually, if you've got a recipe you need to follow, just take a quick peek in the cabinets to make sure you have what's in your list of ingredients, because if you're making potatoes, something or another, and you get home from work the next day, you got the meat already, but you don't have potatoes. So just take the meat out and check you've got all the ingredients that you need.
Kathy, I plan and buy ingredients, not random ingredients, but I do have a stockpile to shop from too. Yes.
Good.
Karen says she has our books and they are very good.
Thank you, Karen.
Nancy, she loves volume 2. Thank you.
Oh, good.
And so does Deborah. Thank you. Everybody's loving the books tonight. Thank you, guys. Kathy, it makes it so simple when you eat the same thing all the time. We eat plain and simple for supper tonight. I had popcorn and fruit, and my husband is having a bowl of Cheerios.
I love having popcorn for supper. I do.
And that's partly, they noticed, I don't know if you guys remember in the late 90s, maybe. No, let's see. Mid 2000s, I think, Dr. Oz came out with this thing where he said, eat the same breakfast and same lunch every day to lose weight. And I was like, well, that makes sense. He said, if you need variety, then pick 3, but only those 3. And he said, the problem is people have too many choices and they get overwhelmed. So they just start eating and eating instead of just sitting down and eating something. And but when you think about it, in the old days, they never had.
No, you'd have a bowl of oatmeal almost every morning or something like that. Or eggs or whatever.
Karen says we have a meat and a veggie. That's it. Yep.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's good.
Under the Median says cook potatoes and top them with whatever you have left over in the fridge. It doesn't take much time or money to create a potato bar. Yep.
Karen, another thing, I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Another thing, the day before you go to the grocery store, we've mentioned this before, is have everybody, it's like we call it every man for themselves. You get in the refrigerator and you grab out all the leftovers you had from the past couple of days and have everybody just clean up those, leftovers and just eat them. And a lot of times there's just a little, it's good, they don't mind eating them because there's a little dab of something really yummy they liked and each person can pick out what their favorite was,
Yep.
And that'll clean your refrigerator out then for when you get ready to go to the grocery store the next day.
Karen only buys meat loss leaders and will fill the rest with pantry, fridge, and freezer. Yep. Kathy, hamburger fried up meals, sloppy joes, tacos, beef stroganoff, spaghetti, pasta bake, all from the same ingredients, and all those recipes are right here in volume 1. You are right. That's it. Like I have probably 10 spices, but I regularly use about 4 to 5 is all I use. And I have 10 just because of the cookbook, but on recipe testing. But basically everybody uses onion powder, garlic powder, salt, and pepper. Those are the 4 that everybody uses. So I combine all those into my seasoned salt recipe right here. And I don't even have to open 4 containers or pick up 4 containers to season my meal. I just pick up my seasoned salt, pour it in there. It's all ready to go.
And you may not think something like that would make a big difference, but after having had chronic fatigue syndrome and us being sick for so long, people ask us, how do you do so much? And how do you, like we look like we feel good and things. We've learned to control how our emotions on things. So instead of picking up 4 bottles, that may not seem like a lot, but when you have a chronic illness like us, that takes a lot of energy, and you add all that together, and it really saves you a lot of time and energy.
Connie says, I love your books. My youngest loves hers too. We use them all the time. I'm going to buy books 1 and 2 for the other 2 kids.
Oh, thank you.
Yep, 40% off right now, guys, for our Mother's Day sale. It ends tomorrow night is last night, right, Mike?
Yep.
Yeah, okay, so 24 hours, guys. That's all you got left. You better grab it. Otherwise, you got to wait till Black Friday. Paula, lettuce wedge with salad dressing. Yep, that would be good.
Yes, I used to do that. I love that.
Esther, with the warmer weather, easy light meals are all I feel like. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Can't say it's warmer weather here, but yes.
Yeah, we got turtlenecks on.
As we were wearing our sweaters with the heater on.
With the heater by us.
Oh, Karen said we did a roast tonight, shred it and put barbecue sauce on it. Yep, that's another one. Barbecue beef right here.
I love hot roast beef sandwiches. A lot of people don't make them anymore,
really
but they're really simple to make. You just make up the little gravy and pour it on white bread with the meat, and it's yummy.
Thank you guys for sharing all these tips.
Yeah, you're giving us some good ideas and give each other ideas.
People get tired of just thinking of what's for dinner, and so this will help them figure out some things. Sandy, we had deer cheese dogs grilled. Okay. I have never said that phrase in my life, ever. Ever have I said that phrase. Sorry, Sandy. We had deer cheese dogs grilled and chili for dinner.
That's a new one.
Her husband loves to grill.
Oh, that's good.
That's a new one on me. Don't know what a deer cheese dog is, but I'll take your word for it. Amazing Grace Ranch says, I hate that question, what's for dinner? It's every day. I have to figure something out.
I know. Join the crowd.
Why do they think they need to eat?
Why do they think they have to have food every day?
Kathy, tacos in many varieties, chicken, many meals, baked pasta, mini mixes, potato bar. Oh, yeah, sorry. So that's copied, I think, what she was saying before. But I was going to tell you, the taco meat filling in here. Another thing that I did was I took the taco meat. Let me see if I can find it here. And, crud. I took the taco meat and I gave you like 6 or 8 different ways to use the taco meat. And that way you can make one meat and cook it 6 or 7 different ways. I can't remember how many it was, but here it is right here. So what I did was, okay, sorry, I'm having wrist problems, but so I took the taco meat filling right here. And so we did tacos, and then you can do taco salad, taco pasta bake, tostadas, burritos, easy enchiladas, creamy chicken enchiladas, and 7 taco dip can all interchange 7-layer taco dip using those. Another one is Mom made up how to make casseroles right here. So she took the casseroles, and you have your main ingredient, your starch ingredient, your goodie toppings, and then your goodies like nuts and that kind of thing, your toppings, and then sauces and seasonings over here. And you can mix and match.
You pick and choose from each one thing from each list.
That way,
for a casserole.
If you don't have an ingredient for the casserole, you can go look at that and say, okay, I'm in the middle of making my casserole. I thought I had the green chilies and I didn't. So what can I use instead of green chilies? Well, can I leave them out? Yes, you could leave them out. Could you just use regular chopped peppers or onions or something like that? So yeah, you can. Okay. Kimberly says, ½ pound of hamburgers for tacos tonight. I put the other half back in the fridge, and we're going to use that tomorrow for hamburger stew. Yep.
Very good.
She's feeding 2. Catherine, any ideas for a wedding on a budget? Yes, elope.
Elope.
Hey, I'm just saying.
Oh.
When my kids decide to get married, I'm going to offer them $20,000 to elope. I think that's a great idea. Huh? Mike said I better be careful. Yeah. So, cheap. Well, first of all, this $250 a plate dinner thing is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, you don't need that. You can just have, for like Tara's wedding, we just had, I think Grandma made small chicken sandwiches.
Grandma made the cake, chicken sandwiches, mince.
We had
and the
like a snack.
The mince in here are the wedding mints that we used.
Yeah, we got wedding mints in there. And just a few like snack type foods that we had, just like a little buffet of snack foods and simple things. And so don't do a huge sit down meal. There's no
reason for
law requiring you to do that. And do you know what happened with Tara's was everybody would just take a plate of all their snack foods or whatever they had on there, and they were walking around visiting with each other. And after Tara's wedding, we got more compliments. They said it was one of the best weddings they'd been to in a long time because they had so much fun. Instead of being stuck like at a table with just like 6 people or something like that they had to talk to just those 6, they got to walk around to all the different family members and friends that they hadn't seen for a long time, visiting with them, and they got to visit with a whole bunch of different ones. And they said that was so much fun to be able to do that. So don't think if you're not doing it just like what everybody else is doing, it's not going to be the perfect wedding. Everybody can do something different. You can have a barbecue if you want.
Yeah, but don't do a potluck. A potluck is tacky.
Yeah, potlucks. That's why we did fancier snack foods. There is a difference. You can do the difference type of thing. But like some people are, into Western type stuff and everything, and a barbecue that's a little bit nicer dishes. Just don't have barbecue maybe with chips, but you could have like a special, more special side dishes to go with it or something. So, think out of the box. Don't think you just have to have a big sit down dinner. Get as many family members, if you have them, to help pitch in. At Tara's, everybody did something. My mom did the wedding cake, and she did the chicken salad sandwiches, and she had a couple other flowers. Tara did the flowers and things, and so get as many people to help with that, and keep it just simple. Try to keep it as simple as possible.
Just for the record, I want to elope. We had the wedding for Mike. After all the hoo-ha, he's like, we should have eloped.
Yeah, and make sure that that's what the bride wants, that she wants a big, huge thing. Some of them do, some
And I know this was 1997. Oh, 97. Sorry. That was my other husband.
The one you had 6 months before you married Mike, huh?
I know that was 1994 when I had my wedding, but my wedding was like $1,500 in 1994. And everybody says, oh, well, that was almost 30 years ago. It was. But even 30 years ago, people were spending $50,000 and $100,000 on weddings. Even in 1994, they were. And so my wedding was considered a frugal wedding back then, even was considered $20,000. So mine was like non-existent for people to spend $1,500 on a wedding. So.
Also, check on the venue. You don't need a very expensive venue. Depending on where you live, you could have it outside, but that's kind of iffy. Your chance. But if your church, most churches, will let you have the wedding and the reception there at the church.
Yeah. I joined the church so I could get the church for the
yeah, right.
I did. Actually,
you'd gone to it.
What happened was
she'd gone to it before.
What happened was I had been going to this church for a little while. And then we decided to get married. And I was like, well, wait a minute. If I join the church, which we were already planning on going to anyway, but if I join the church, they'll give me the member discount versus the non-member discount. And so I'm like, oh, well, I might as well join now instead of after we're married and get the non-member discount.
Frugal back then even, weren't you?
But I didn't join the church just to get the frugal discount. But it was funny because it kind of looked that way. Elizabeth, she loves using our easier recipes and they taste pretty darn tootin' good. I added the tootin' in there.
Thank you.
Cindy, how long and what temp for Western ribs? I have no idea what Western ribs are, but I cook my ribs and I think ribs are in volume 2, I think. just low and
Yeah,
slow. I just put it in the oven at 200 degrees for 8 to 10 hours. Excuse me, and just let them slowly cook.
Mm-hmm. They won't
8 to
burn
10
or
hours,
anything.
and
They
slowly
just
cook. Yeah.
do real slow.
And I forgot to announce, guys, we have our undated planners in right here. Our undated planners, over 400 pages. And you can start now and not lose any days. But I forgot to mention that. I know these are going to be, books are going to be late getting there for Mother's Day, but you can give them a little note and say, your planner is coming, my love, for Mother's Day. Cheryl, roast is expensive. Title cheap. I have no idea what that means. Roast is she's saying roast is expensive. The title of our thing is cheap, easy meals. Actually, roast is not expensive when you buy it on sale.
Yeah, we usually
stop
get it
saying
on sale.
It's expensive. It's not. You just have to buy it when it's on sale. Chicken's expensive when it's not on sale. Pork is expensive when it's not on sale. Eggs were expensive 3 months ago. You just work with what you have on sale. That's why I keep these things in the freezer. So I'm not just eating what's on sale this week. I'm eating a variety of foods because they're in my freezers, purchased on sale. So I can enjoy roast at $3 something a pound when it's not on sale and it's normally $7 or $8 a pound. So that's not true that it's not cheap. It's very cheap. Patty, I was never taught how to cook. She loves the time-saving tips. You are welcome.
Oh, thank you.
Sandy, did you get your counters poured today? Yes.
She did.
They got the epoxy on today, and then they're putting the top coat on tomorrow. And then I have to wait a month. So wait a month for that last piece to set, and then I can start cleaning and putting everything back. And I'll probably get it done quicker than I thought because I was going to film me putting everything back. But I had a complete breakdown today when I was editing our Colorado trip for 8 hours. Not editing it, just getting the footage to get to the editor. It took me 8 hours to get through that. And I think I'm not going to do that anymore. I don't like doing it. I don't want to stab out my eyeballs when I have to do that stuff. So I think we're just going to do a video showing before and after and just do a reveal video as soon as, but it's going to be another month before the window's in. So maybe 3 weeks to a month before the window's in. So, Karen, I never beat eggs, even when making scrambled eggs. I don't either.
Yeah.
I don't either. One time my aunt got really, well, let's just say she needed a laxative because I didn't beat my eggs in the bowl before I put them in the pan. Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness. How dare I do that? Mm-hmm. You know who I'm talking about, don't you? Mm-hmm. Grandma. So Happy says, my mom freezes leftover pasta when there would be too much as a step skip. Yep, you can do that. Wanda, I watch one channel where she doesn't boil her pasta water first. She just puts the pasta in the water right from the start. Puts her frozen vegetables in too if she's having it. I do that. If I have frozen vegetables or my meat, if I'm boiling, like for the hamburger casserole, I will sometimes put my meat in with the boiling water if I don't think it's going to get defrosted. It depends on the kind of noodles. So if you have, because I just use whatever noodles I have on hand. So like the bow tie noodles don't take as long to cook as the macaroni noodles. They take a few minutes less. So if, let's say I'm doing the macaroni noodles, then I will throw the frozen hamburger in with the macaroni noodles and it'll be all defrosted and ready. But if it's the bow tie noodles, then I just throw it in afterwards because it defrosts just fine. But yeah, so it just kind of depends. But yeah, just put all your vegetables, everything in there, and then just drain the water off. It's just, you boil it anyway. That's how they used to do it in the old days, was to boil the vegetables.
And that reminds me of a recipe we have. I think we've got it on the website, of stir fry. Yeah. You just take the chicken and you throw the frozen noodles and all that in with that. It's really easy to make stir fry with just the chicken and the frozen. You can get the package of frozen mixed vegetables or whatever,
Mhm.
and then put your soy sauce. And that's one of the fastest meals and really easy. And that would be a good one to use for just like if you have a cup of or a half a cup of different types of vegetables to make a stir fry with those half a cups. Just pull them out of the freezer and toss them in there.
Yep. Tammy says, I have had the hamburger casserole and my husband likes it.
Mm.
And he says, the first time my 12-year-old made the ham and noodles, he didn't cook the noodles first. Sorry. Sorry. I managed to save it. Very good.
Very good.
I'm just laughing because I've been there and done that.
Yeah.
Tracy, I take all my leftover veggies from meals and put them in a freezer bag. She keeps adding to them until she has vegetable soup.
Yep. That's another good one.
Wanda, why do people cook their pasta in water, drain, and then put in the broth? Why not just use the broth from the start? Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, especially if you're doing like chicken noodle soup or whatever. And what I do is just use the little bouillon cubes. So I just throw those in. Yeah.
I was going to say a lot of times I'll just cook it in the chicken broth, instead of just water. I'll make, like if I'm going to make chicken noodle soup or something, I'll do the chicken broth.
Can you say my next batch, Mike? Susan, happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to you.
Oh, thank you.
Mother's Day breakfast. Oh, Mother's Day breakfast. If anyone's listening, will be cinnamon rolls from Volume 1 on page 95, being made by her daughter. We'll pray for you. I can't wait. Sometimes those breakfasts for mom can get kind of exciting.
They can be different, those breakfasts for mom.
You might serve with a dose of Tums.
Oh, the
Just
Tara
kidding.
made one, and her brother made breakfast in bed for me one time. Oh my goodness.
I was a wonderful daughter.
Oh, they'd never made coffee before, and I had just nothing but instant coffee. And so they had a cup of, well, I don't even know if they used hot water. And they scooped in like 5 tablespoons of instant coffee into a little tiny mug of coffee.
Now, whose fault is this for not teaching us how to cook?
So bad. It was
She's
so
blaming
bad.
me,
Oh,
but being the parent, she should have taught how
I had to sit there and eat that stuff, but I was very brave and I consumed most of it. It was pretty bad.
Tanya, any ways to save? Did a price comparison. 40% at Aldi's and Walmart was like 50% for the same items. Time to buy different items, I'd say. Yep.
Yeah.
That is where our price book comes in to play so that you can see the items.
Mm-hmm.
Cindy says our fried chicken recipe in Volume 1 is amazing. Yes, it is. Thank you.
It's one of Mike's favorites.
Elizabeth, I bought 5 pounds of hamburger yesterday. So easy to do. I made meatballs with some first and 7 packs to freeze for meals after I fry it all up. Yeah. So what I do is another big time-saving tip is I will take my grandma's meatball recipe right here. Dang on Dime, Volume 1. 10 pounds. I think it's 3 recipes. So tripling the recipe. And then what I do is I make 2 cookie sheets with meatballs. And then I get 2 to 3 meatloaves, depending on which meatloaf pan I use, out of it also. And I'll make 1 for dinner. Everything else goes in the freezer. In the meatloaf pan, I line it with foil. And everything goes in the freezer. And then it comes out, all the meatballs go in a freezer bag, and all the meatloaves just are lifted out of the bread pan the next day and folded over and put in a freezer bag. Then when it's time to cook dinner, I just take the meatloaf out, put it back in the bread pan, and put it in the oven. And I haven't even worked 5 minutes for dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't take 3 times. Tripling the meatball recipe takes the same amount of time as making 1 batch. So yeah, it doesn't take any more time.
Yeah, if you get that meat, I think that's where most people get frustrated or stalled or whatever you want to call it, is not having that meat. If you have that meat cooked, you're more willing to go in, or prepared, pretty much prepared. You're more willing to fix dinner. It's like you've got a major step done on the meal. Is Shannon on?
Shannon, we saw
Shannon,
you.
I saw you, Shannon.
Shannon makes sure she is seen.
Yes, sir. I get tickled when I see her.
Let's see. Cindy says, I think your idea of putting the meat in the cheap plastic sandwich bag and into the gallon freezer is a great savings. It is. Those freezer bags are expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my word. As a matter of fact, let's just look real quickly because I keep meaning to compare them. So freezer bags, if you get the expensive Ziploc and not the Walmart brand, because that's what most people do, 20 to 14 cents each. 20 to 14 cents each. Holy cow. If you get the Walmart one, it's 5 cents each.
The foldovers?
No,
Oh,
the freezer bags.
Freezer bags.
People, stop being so persnickety. Use the store brand. So, okay, so now let's see how much the little fold top ones are. Where'd they go? Not even a penny each.
Yeah. Penny each, guys.
A penny each. And it saves you so much time.
So that's what, 5 times more if you buy the Walmart brand, and
Like
20
times more.
Almost 19 times more if you buy the
And you
other.
wonder why you can't pay off your credit cards.
Yeah, you need to really start doing the prices and doing a little bit of math. It's not hard math. It really isn't. So, and you'll be shocked at what you're spending money on.
So Kimberly, I am glad. By the way, I don't know if you got my email, but a package is on the way.
Well, even like parchment paper, I see people just use parchment paper, and then as soon as they take the cookies off, they wad it up and throw it away. I reuse that parchment paper. If you think about it, it's going in a hot oven.
Yep.
There's usually nothing gooey on it. Sometimes if I get a lot of chocolate melted on it, I can't reuse it. But if there's just crumbs or something like that, reuse that parchment paper and just save it.
Susan, I really like the hamburger casserole. Everybody loves the hamburger casserole.
Yeah.
It is so good. And you know what it is? It's Hamburger Helper, but it's cheaper.
Yeah, it is like hamburger helper. And the kids seem to love
Tastes
it.
better than Hamburger Helper.
Kids really love that hamburger casserole a lot.
Cindy agrees with you, Mom.
Don't you
Aren't you
hate
glad
it?
somebody agrees with you?
Yeah, I'm glad somebody does.
We even
I'm
will
glad,
save
Cindy.
one of your barbecue meatballs to share in the morning in omelets with chives and mozzarella cheese. My favorite omelet. Ooh, yum.
Mm.
Debbie, just curious, does your family eat as much as they want, or do you limit the quantity they have? No, I don't limit the amount they eat.
Yeah, they can.
You know, they can eat whatever they want. Although when they were younger, they would get a snack after school, and then they couldn't eat until dinner time then.
And also, I don't let them just eat like nothing but the meat and fill their plate full of that. You know, they have to eat portions of everything.
And when they were little, I would make them at least try. I would put a tablespoon of everything on their plate, and they had to at least eat that tablespoon before they could get seconds.
Yeah.
So I know I was meaning cruel. So
yeah.
I got a lot of therapy to pay for my kids.
You control it a little bit, you know, but we don't say, well, if they're still hungry, they can't have more, you know, but
maybe my kids should be paying for my therapy now that I think about it.
Yeah, my kids should be paying for my therapy too, now that I think about it. Right, guys?
Wait, so this started. Oh. Lori, what's the best oil to cook with? Doesn't matter. Not really.
No.
At the moment, I am cooking with canola oil. I am cooking with bacon grease. I am cooking with clarified butter, ghee. I am cooking with butter. I am cooking with lard. Because I have all of those, and just depending on what I'm making, coconut oil, and what I need to use up at the moment, I didn't accidentally. I purposely did it. I stocked up on oils when Russia invaded Ukraine because I wasn't quite sure how that whole thing was going to play out. So I wasn't quite sure. So I stocked up on extra lard because there was no sunflower oil available because everybody bought it. And so now I have a ton of lard I need to use up. I might be making soap again. But just whatever is like bacon grease is really good for pretty much any food.
Yeah, and you get it for free.
And it's free, yeah.
Use it for all kinds of stuff. And the lard for pies is really good for pies and pastries.
Yeah. Although I have like 50 pounds of lard, so I'm going to be making a lot
of pies. Nobody eats them but Michael, I think.
Cindy, leftover meat is a great topping for tomorrow's lunch. Yep. Ida says starch, veggie, and protein. Simple. Yep. Wanda W says, I cook for my daughter and granddaughter. I'm on the keto diet. My pantry is a true blessing. I could be a professional grocery shopper. Yeah. You know, a lot of people could pay. There you go. That's a job.
Oh, yeah.
It would pay for you to grocery shop for people, and they would save more money if you grocery shopped and cooked the meals for them than eating out.
Mm-hmm.
Jane from the country, I popping corn on the stove for my snack. Yes, we made some of that last night.
I love popcorn.
I taught Jack how to make it on the stovetop.
Oh, you did? I've been trying to teach Dave for ages.
We ran out of microwave, and they really wanted it for Star something or another, whatever. Which one you're watching right now?
What's that?
What Star are you watching now?
Star
Wars? No, not Wars. Star Trek. What are you watching? Star Trek.
Star Trek.
I couldn't remember which one it was. I don't watch.
If
Trek?
Yeah, Voyager.
Yeah, that's
Voyager.
the lady. That's the lady that you guys keep saying is like me.
Yeah, Star Trek. Voyager.
Star Trek Voyager. Okay. They keep saying I would be a good captain. Can you see me as a captain?
I can see you
I
as a
can see me as
captain.
a captain.
Oh, that would be scary.
Open the pod bay doors, Hal.
I'm
You
sorry,
could do.
Dave. I'm afraid I can't. I'm sorry, Tara. I'm afraid I can't do that.
If you guys are making popcorn on the stove or in like a kettle thing, it's better with a stir if you have a popcorn popper that has the stir type thing on the top. But pour the oil in, and then throw in like 2 to 3 tablespoons of sugar, and then put the popcorn in and pop it. And you have the best kettle corn ever.
And
so
bacon
good.
grease is really good if you do that too.
Yeah. So
Volume 1 is the kettle corn.
People love kettle corn, and it's so easy to make,
Esther says she always calls it do-overs.
Do-overs. That's good.
These people who say, well, I don't eat leftovers. I'm sorry. You're just being a food snob, and you need to stop it. If you're complaining about paying your bills, or you can't get this paid off or whatever, you need to just stop it. It's crazy.
Well,
Go ahead.
I've said before, we've gotten so comfortable, especially here in the United States, of having pretty much anything and everything we want most of the time. And so things are getting a little bit tighter, but they're not horribly bad yet. It's just a matter of we're going to have to learn to give up, all the things we wanted. I know, that's terrible. So it's not like we're starving here yet or anything, or even doing without a whole lot of stuff. It's just that we can't get our favorite stuff anymore, especially if it's expensive. But, you have to just adapt and think, well, it may be bad now, but maybe in a few years it'll start getting better, that type of thing. If the rapture doesn't happen, but.
Tanya, we call it upcycle for food. Yep. Patty wants to know where the green chili is. So volume 1, 40% off right now. Only 24 hours left for our Mother's Day sale. Page 264 in volume 1. And then also on livingonadime.com is where you can see it. Candy, too many people think leftovers always means eating the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Pam, I think I maybe read that one. Sorry. Pam made your homemade graham crackers. Volume 1. And the Zwieback is really good too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. That's the only thing I haven't been able to. Was I able to get a gluten-free one of Zwieback? I don't think I was. But that being gluten-free, I do miss the Zwieback. That was really good. That was something that was really weird growing up. I never understood. Yeah, I couldn't do a gluten-free one on that. I never understood why Mom was eating baby crackers. It was weird.
I love those wheat
It's
facts.
very weird. And then I tried one, and I'm like, oh, this is good.
I used to buy those Zwieback all the time. I loved them.
Becca says turkey sandwiches after Thanksgiving. Yummy.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Tracy, what it boils down to is y'all are teaching people things their mothers used to teach them, cooking and caring for a home, and you just have to jump in and use what you have. Yep.
Yeah.
Victoria, I use the green chili recipe all the time. She no longer buy green chili sauce. No way. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Suzanne, I also looked to see what needs used up and plan a meal around that. I had potatoes, celery that need to be used, so I made clam chowder. Yum.
Very good. Mm-hmm.
Kathy, yes, we called it housewifery. Homemaker
Yeah.
clubs entered things in the county fair. I know.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys know that I wiped out my county fair one year with red ribbons for my flowers?
There were 10 people that were entered in the whole fair.
I got 100 ribbons, not 100. I probably got 20 ribbons, but I cleared the flower section.
For
I
the
had it.
flowers.
I don't care if there was only
There's-
two of us.
I was
I
going to
won.
say there was only like 4 people that entered. It's like James in the dog
I
show.
entered
the pet show he
everyone,
won.
every category I could enter. Shastina, I'm trying to learn to cook for just me without many leftovers. Hard to downsize. Yep.
Yeah, you have to get used to it.
Jim, poor Wanda. Can't you just picture me chasing mice with a big hammer? No, I did. I really
She
did.
did.
I really
It
did.
was-
I was
It
fed
was
up.
scaring me on the other end of the phone hearing that pounding
Although
sound.
what's funny, okay, if you're eating dinner, I'm sorry, plug your ears. But what's funny was I thought I'd have mouse guts splatted all over the place, but I didn't. I just whacked it really quick and it just stunned them. And then, well, it probably killed them too. But I mean, it didn't, there was no breakage of mouse skin or anything. It didn't.
I'm so glad
I
you
didn't, I
explained
didn't,
that to
I didn't
us.
brain them or anything. I just stunned them enough and then I threw them outside. So
I was going to say, did you bury them? You just threw them
no,
out.
I just
huh?
threw them out. Let the coyotes take care of it. I ain't got time for burying mice. No. Under the medium, I plan and cook 4 main dishes each week. By the time I stretch the leftovers, it's about the perfect amount of food. Yep.
Mm. You know, that is for talking about meal planning, and we're talking about
Yep.
mice guts and everything.
Oh, sorry.
I mean, we're talking about good meals, and she brings up mice guts. You can tell we're not delicate when we eat dinner or anything. We talk about anything.
Elizabeth, we've always thrown leftover meat in our spaghetti sauce, steak, pork chops, pepperoni, chicken. I'll make different flavored sauce. Yep.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Kimberly, are you warm enough?
Yeah, why?
Can you turn it down? Kimberly says they're great in white chicken chili soup. I also make white chicken chili if I need to feed more, and I make it into soup. Yes, very good.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and hello, friend.
That was hi, Kimmy. Oh.
See, I can be what's the description of Kimmy? She's very what's the description? She's very calm and very, very sweet. See, I can be sweet. Hello, friend.
I bet you she never killed mice with a hammer before. Can't even imagine her doing that.
I can't see Kimmy killing mice with a hammer. I don't see that at all. Oh, Derek would be like, what alien possessed my wife? Barbara. Oh, I was wondering, your husband is home. Yay. I was wondering how he was doing. Good. Thank you for letting us know. I was
Yeah.
going to see if I was going to email you. Well, I didn't want to email you right away because if you were in the hospital.
Yeah, if you're in the hospital or something like that.
Susan, Jill, okay. Christy, I ordered volume 1 today and can't wait to get it. I love listening to you guys.
Oh, thank you.
Darlene, love the cabbage soup and carrots, celery, potatoes, etc. Chicken stock, very filling. We don't need meat for every meal. No, you don't.
No, you don't.
Debbie, we are having breakfast sandwiches for supper using bagels I bought on sale. Very good.
Mm-hmm.
Lori, chicken fajitas are what they're having tonight.
Mm.
Darlene, free spinach to use in soups. Grab a handful. Carolyn, I enjoy making tacos with leftover roast beef. Yes.
Okay, now you could just go through tonight's comments and you could have a whole list of stuff that you could make, with leftovers
Yep.
and other things. So you guys
Kimberly, my husband has lost 60 pounds in a year and he was just told today he's no longer diabetic. Wow. Portion control works. Yeah.
it does. It makes a difference, that
Mhm.
portion control.
He went to just drinking water and protein shakes every now and again. Very good.
Mm-hmm.
It really boils down to the amount of calories. I'm telling you, I was on the keto diet for 3 weeks and I lost like 3 pounds maybe, but I really wasn't losing any weight. Everybody was saying it, but it was just because I was eating too much food.
Yeah.
Because it was just hard to just eat that. And so
I've known
I
people
stopped.
that have gone on smoothie diets, where they have
Yeah.
smoothies 3 times a day. Well, they'll have like 2,000 calories. And I eat normal meals and I have less than 1,500 calories, 1,000 to 1,500. But they thought they were doing a really good diet by doing the smoothies type
Yeah.
thing. So be careful. You got to
So stop stuffing
the-
your face.
watch the calories and the portions.
That's Tara's motto. Stop stuffing your face. Jan, my mom used to make chipped ham and gravy. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Kimberly makes quesadillas for lunch. Yes. And Valerie loves French toast for supper with vanilla and cinnamon and the egg mixture. Yep. That's volume 1. Also right there, the red one. Debbie, how to make casserole pages worth the price of the book in volume 2.
Thank you. I'm glad you like those.
Wanda W says we have corn every Friday night. Clean out the refrigerator night. Clean out refrigerator night. Corn.
Oh, corn.
Oh, that's so funny. I've never heard that before.
That's good.
Tanya, I need to do that to the boys.
Yeah.
Tanya, I like to make 1 or 2 meals on Saturday. When we get done with church, we aren't tempted to eat out. Yep. Jane, I made your farmhouse bread. I think that's volume 1 in the bread machine, and it's delicious. Isn't that good? Our viewer Roxy sent that to us, and it's really good.
One thing about eating out, having it ready for Sunday and not eating out, a lot of times you'll find if you've got the meat cooking before you go to work or something like that, or part of the meal fixed in the morning before you go to work, you won't be as tempted to go out. If you know you got a potato salad fixed and something else started sitting in the refrigerator, even though you think, oh, I'm too tired, you know you've got that ready. And so you usually force yourself to go ahead and go home and, finish fixing it.
Yeah. Oh, perky. That's the word. Kimmy is perky, and I'm not. That was the word I was looking for. Kimmy is perky, and I'm not.
Yeah, she is.
That's why we love you, Kimmy.
You should have seen the two of them talking. Oh, my goodness. It was just like, are they going to even take a breath to breathe, both of them? They were having fun.
Sandy, I have all the books in ebook format. I love them. Yay, I'm so glad.
Good.
Estella, what Jill said is right. Eat a small bit of chocolate before meals. It will deaden your appetite.
Yes.
Okay.
It does. It really does work.
Adam, hello from Alabama. Live alone. Make casserole at the beginning of each week. Freeze individual portions to eat all week. Easy and cheap. Yep.
That's good.
Eva, we could do a 4th of July sale in the cookbooks. We usually do, but they won't be 40% off. The lowest we go the rest of the year is 35% off. So if you want it 40% off, get it now because it's now in Black Friday. Mother's Day and Black Friday is the only two times we do it.
The two cheapest ones, that you save the most.
Unless I'm moving. And then we usually do it. But I'm not moving this year. Unless I'm dead. They're going to have to drag my dead body out of here to move me. Shastina, I found you years ago with your fiber video. I've also have it and found it hard to cook nutritious stuff that's easy. Wondering what tips you got here. So here I am. Yay.
Oh.
Patty, when my kids were young, I told them they don't live in a restaurant. Yeah. I was creative with leftovers and no one realized it was the same food. Chili leftovers were using different this time than the last time. Yep. Shirley, you love making hot sandwiches with turkey instead. I think it's called hot brown.
Oh,
that's a new one, but yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, I love turkey sandwiches with gravy on bread.
Lori likes the Krusteaz pancake muffin mix. Add flax, chia, blueberries, and egg, and call it dinner. Well, there you go.
You guys have got some great ideas.
I had the Hanvi. I don't know what that name is. I love using Mom's casserole recipe. Yep. Melissa says, made the bean goulash for the first time last week and brought it to a friend's house for dinner. When I was leaving, the host asked if she could keep some because it was so good. It is.
That bean goulash.
Volume 1 right there.
And that is
and livingondime.com.
That is a good potluck dish. If you guys need a really good potluck dish this summer for different things, especially for barbecues and stuff or church potlucks, it has barbecue sauce in it. And I don't like beans, but that is the best.
And bacon.
Yeah, it has bacon.
But you can use bacon grease if you don't have bacon on hand.
Yeah, it's really good.
Karen says they did their daughter's wedding for less than $6,000. No food, just had cake, nuts, and mints. Yeah, you don't need to have.
Yeah, you don't need to have food.
And Connie says, "Oh, our wedding pictures were so beautiful." Do you have our wedding pictures on your computer, dear? If so, Michael, bring it up and he'll show you in just a moment. We'll show you our wedding pictures. You'll find it funny. Okay, Sunset Heritage Farm says, absolutely eloped. We've been married 10 years, but looking back, I wish we would have skipped the big wedding. Yeah. Susan, ground beef on sale at Super One Foods for $1.97 a pound. There you go.
Whoa,
I'm going to be there.
Yeah, that's good.
Kate, the casserole mix and match is brilliant. Thank you. And Jim says weddings used to not include meals. I know.
I know. We always had the cake and mince and nuts for weddings. And punch. That's what
Well,
you
I'm
had.
reading a book now, our old books that Mom and I read from the late 1800s, early 1900s up to the 60s or so. And it's like almost every single book, almost everyone, not everyone, but almost everyone. It's him and her going to the church with the pastor and his wife and one other witness, and that's it. Their
Yeah.
families aren't even there.
Yeah. And now they have bars where you have all these bars and everything, and then they have, but we just had coffee and punch. You had a choice between coffee or punch, you know. You just didn't have, they have big bands and all kinds of stuff that you really, I don't think need, you know.
Mary says, yeah, I never started baking like that with so many bowls. She said, do dry and wet on top in one bowl. I know.
Mhm.
Drives me nuts. Grandma's so happy. My mom made the mince and cousin made the cake as a gift.
Yeah.
Simply doesn't mean bad. Yep.
Yeah.
Item. Well, and then my chiropractor had a friend that was getting married, and she said, just so you know, we are spending $250 a head for the dinner, and we expect our gift to be at least that much.
I know. I can't believe how brides and grooms are demanding certain gifts and I mean, you know, certain amounts of money spent on them and things.
Yes, I know. Yes, guys, we've been notified many times about the typo of the dyed chicken in the chicken curry recipe. Everybody needs proofreader, so we will change
had
that
like
for the
10
next
of 'em. We
printing.
still-
Oh, if you guys knew, every single edition that we print, we fix typos. It's not possible. And now that we've been publishers, when I read a book,
I know.
I find the typos
Typos
all the time
time.
now. Like I don't read a book where I don't find typos
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah.
Ever. And I had this one lady, she said, well, I can't believe you had a typo in your book. I was like, well, I can't believe you're such a snob because every book has a typo. It does. You may not catch it, but there's no perfect books. But anyway, so thank you guys. We did find that.
And thanks for letting us know because
yes,
it helps
thank you.
us and
Yes.
for change them.
One time though, we had a lady. I'm like, can I hire you for my editor? Oh my goodness. She sent me 3. The book had already been, we were in edition number 12 or something like that. I don't know what edition this one is, but we were around, was it 12? I think, I can't remember. And this one, yeah, this is the 18th printing. So I think it was around printing number 12. Yeah. 20. Yeah. In 2018, she sent me. So if you can imagine, we've already printed it 12 times. We've reproofread it at least
a lot of us
12 times.
We had a lot of people
a lot more than that.
proofreading. Yeah.
And she sent me 3 pages of corrections.
I remember that.
I was like, oh my, and they were all legit.
Yeah.
But I was like, holy moly, how do I hire you to be my proofreader? She was real. And I tried emailing her again, and I never was able to get a hold of her. Cindy, Kimberly, she keeps leftover veggies in a container in the freezer. Oh, and makes vegetable soup. Yep, that was twice. Susan, I really like the hamburger casserole, making a lot. Yes. Oh, wait a minute, my notes got
I was going to
messed up
say,
here.
I think
so sorry, guys. Here we go. Let me see. Sorry guys, got messed up here. Oh, the wedding pictures. Did you find our wedding picture, dear?
Okay, ready?
Okay,
Yep.
show our wedding
Just
picture.
Okay.
Okay.
There's one of them.
Look at that.
Tara did all of her
handsomeness.
flowers.
Aw.
Handsomeness.
Note the unlit candles.
They forgot to light
Oh,
the
honey, I
candle.
see the picture. My heart goes pitter-patter.
Your heart goes pitter patter,
Yep.
Monica.
What do you guys think of that mustache?
There's this one. Is that the same, right? Wow, look at you, girl.
I made the veil. Grandma made the dress. There's Grandma. She made the dress. Oh.
And there's this one here.
Oh.
Ones I had.
All right, so that was our wedding, a very long 29 years ago, almost 28 years ago. No.
We were so
okay.
sick at that
Mary.
wedding.
Never started. Oh, wait. Sorry, guys. My things got really messed up. Wanda, I think my first wedding was potluck. I know we ate in the backyard, got married in the front yard.
That's
Sorry.
good, Wanda.
I mean, it's fine. It's just funny the way you say that.
Yeah.
First time I had coleslaw with apples in it. Very tasty. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that would be good. That was just funny how you did the front and the backyard. That was good.
Anchors and arrows. I gifted a copy to one of my daughters, and I'm going to buy one for my son for his birthday. Yay!
Oh,
Along with
thanks.
4 set. I'm going to get volume 2 for myself. Yes. Shastita, helping out for weddings makes good memories. We make cake, flowers, fire angels, bouquets. Most memorable wedding. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Grandma's so happy. My son's wedding was over $30,000. Oh my goodness.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Kathy, one of my super quick and easy meals is 2 potatoes, 1 can of green beans seasoned cooked together. This makes enough for 2 meals, served with a side of cottage cheese. Ooh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
Grandma's so happy. My son said that they could have done a lot of things different. Funny how wisdom hits you in your 30s.
Yeah.
It's called getting tired of paying the credit card bills is what it gets called. Connie, I got roast for $3.99 a pound. Oh, yeah, I find roast probably every month for $3.99. Wanda, London broil for roast when it's less than $2 a pound. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Candy, once you stockpile sale items, you will be able to eat whatever you feel like eating. Yep.
Yeah. And one thing, too, about the roast, you don't need to buy the really expensive roast. The way we cook them, the recipe we have in the cookbook, the cheapest roast is best to use for that.
Go to livingonadime.com. You can find that recipe right there. We have a lot of variations to go with it, too.
Mm-hmm.
Nancy says, gosh, when I married, everyone just had cake and punch reception at the church. No meal, no big expense. My dress was $60 and can't remember the rest. That was the 60s. I know.
I did the same.
This whole sit-down dinner thing is for the birds.
Yeah.
Not to mention, who wants to be at a wedding that long?
Who wants to be at a wedding that long?
Maybe that's the introvert in me coming in. Okay, Mike wants to be at a wedding that long.
I was going to say, Mike would stay that long.
Me, I'm like, okay, you're married. Have fun. See you
You're
later.
married to have fun.
Let me go how it goes in 5 or 10 years. Grandma, are you going to do a video about your countertops? I have to redo mine, trying to figure out a decent way to get it figured out. Not really. I don't think people would really watch it, but basically I just did the epoxy countertops. Now, I will say
butcher block with epoxy on top of it.
Yeah. But this same epoxy, you can do colors on top of old countertops, and people have had really good success with them. But don't believe all the videos. They are not as scratch resistant and all this stuff as the videos lead you to believe. Like there's one video where the guy is banging it with a hammer and a knife and scratching it with pennies and all this stuff. That's not true. But I wanted the butcher block for a specific look for the kitchen if I do cooking videos. And so that's why I went with the epoxy for that. Now, here's the thing. If you do like a marble type faux marble look, it won't show as much as my butcher block will. But I can just buff it down. It'll be fine. So that's why I went ahead and did it that way. Like every 6 months to a year, I'll probably have to buff it down. So crazy cat lady, I stressed for days over my wedding. 35 years later, was still married, and it's just not important like it seemed at the time. Well, that's the way they were picking new colors and logos for our homeschool co-op, because that's what they're gonna like graduate with and stuff. And I'm like, in 20 years, in 5 years after they're graduated, nobody's gonna give a flip what the colors
Probably not even remember. I was trying to think, do I even remember what my colors were?
Well, I do, but yeah,
It doesn't really matter.
it doesn't
in
matter
the whole
at
scheme
all.
of life.
So anyway, yeah. Carolyn says, I bought a lot of roast cheap on sale. They may at times be cheaper cut, but if you bake it long and slow and add onions and spices, it's delicious.
Mhm.
It's just baking it slowly.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't have time to bake it slowly, throw it in the Instant Pot. But let me tell you, it tastes a lot better in the oven than it does the Instant Pot.
Yeah, doing the slow in the oven does really good.
MF says, we had cake only for the food. My dress was under $100 and location was free. I reused many items from family members' weddings. Yep.
Mhm.
Yep. I've been married 15 years. There you go.
Mm.
Cheryl says we went to the courthouse, didn't have the money, and was not going to have my mom and dad go into debt for the wedding, just as married as the other.
Yeah.
Yep. But she still has the $10,000 to $20,000. Yeah. Michelle, hello from Indiana. Just placed an order. Thank you for the
thank
volume
you.
1. My Mother's Day present to herself, I think.
That's the way to do it.
Kimberly, I've been send me the next batch, Mike. Kimberly, I've been making a lot of frittatas. Recently, sorry, I'm trying to I'm wheeling myself not to sneeze.
You're going to sneeze. You're not going to sneeze.
Recently, okay, she's been making a lot of frittatas recently, which is basically just baked scrambled eggs. I know it's all fancy if it's a frittata, but it's just scrambled eggs with a bunch of vegetables chopped up in there. It's such an easy way to use leftover meat and vegetables.
Yeah, it is.
Her husband loves it. And actually, I think, is that volume 1 or 2? We have that in there also.
Yeah,
we actually have that recipe. Wendy just ordered volume 1 for a bridal shower gift. Yay!
Very good.
Thank you. Going to put the pantry basics with it. Barbara, popcorn makes good cereal. Yes, it does.
I could live off of popcorn.
Really good. Okay, let's see. All right. What time do we usually eat dinner? Greta wants to know. For me, usually about 5. Although it's been getting earlier and earlier because Jack comes home from school hungry, so I've been cooking closer to like 4:30. But yeah, usually 4:30 or 5.
We always had it at 4:30 because my husband worked at home, and the kids would get off of school at 4. So instead of them having a snack sometimes, in between, I had supper ready for when they got home from school. And that way we ate early, and it seemed like we had a longer evening or something by doing that.
Yep.
We had,
Who wants to be doing dishes?
yeah, I was going to say, we got the dishes and everything cleaned up before it got too late. And then the kids could sit with a full stomach doing their homework. And so it just seemed like it was easier if you can have it earlier.
Denise says she loves the planner. Thank you so much. Made that so you could get your life together. Get it together, people. All right. Cindy, new to this channel. I love it. So many great ideas and suggestions. Well, thank you. Kimmy, Tara, I'm still thinking about the burgers we had last week. Oh, those were good, weren't they? They were very delicious.
Oh, I know. I wasn't registering what she was. I thought about those driving home after I got home. And the next day I thought, I didn't know what I was going to eat because I kept thinking of those silly burgers. And I thought those were really different. They were good.
Yep. Marie, longtime viewer, first time commenter, made the pizza crust with herbs from volume 1. Best homemade pizza ever made. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Kimberly, and welcome. Kimberly, I was married in my backyard and carried it myself from the party store. I got the pans with the alcohol burners underneath and had Kentucky Fried Chicken and roast beef sandwiches out of the crock pot. There you go. All the sides from the grocery store. The only thing we had to do was rent the chairs. There you go.
Very good.
Barbara says I would like the white chicken chili with pineapple pico de gallo. Okay. I cannot envision that. I'm sorry, Barbara.
I know.
Okay.
Chicken chili. But that might be good.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Barbara, when you move here, you'll have to make that for me.
Is she moving here?
Well, she keeps saying she's going to. But
are you? That would be so fun.
I don't think she's going to, but I wish she would.
I wish she would too.
Michelle, my husband and I got married at a park, and then we had a small dinner and pizza place. Yep. Where they had their first date.
Now see, something like that's sweet because it's sentimental and everything.
Valerie, I just went to the Justice of the Peace. My family and friends, close friends, told everyone we didn't want a gift. We all went to a restaurant and had a meal. Yep. Jill is married in 86, $5,000, big buffet, paid cash, had choice of church, wedding, or honeymoon. Chose wisely. It was beautiful. Yep. Valerie, roast you can make a few meals so it's not expensive. Yes.
Yeah, that's another thing you need to take in consideration when you're buying meat is how many meals can I get out of it more so than, how expensive it is really.
Elizabeth says roast was cheaper than ground hamburger here last week. Yes, it is. And Lori wants to know, can you defrost and refreeze same meat? Yes, you
Yes,
can.
you
Yeah.
can.
Sandy, happy dance. Your kitchen is almost done. Yes. It's like,
It's
my
getting there.
goodness. Belinda, good evening, guys. Or should I say good morning on this Friday in Australia? Good morning.
Oh, yeah, it is morning there.
Wow. Oh, and it's almost winter time for you.
It is. I forgot about that.
Shan't break out the Yule log.
Break out the Yule log.
On July 25th.
Yeah.
Shannon, our wedding in 1988 cost $700 to $800. All of our cake, church, videos, servers, music, groomsmen, bridesmaids, outfit were all gifts. Wow. Candy.
Well, now I know it was later, but my wedding was $300 and we had 250 people come to our wedding. So that wasn't too bad. And we even had like small little sandwiches and the mince, nuts, and the cake, and then the punch and coffee and that type of thing. So $300 wasn't bad for 250 people.
Man, you probably made out for wedding gifts.
I did. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
The wedding gifts, not only did we have the wedding like that, but then my husband was stationed in El Paso at the time, and none of the people from there came to the wedding. But when we got down there after the wedding, they had a huge wedding reception there for us. Then we were at Springfield, my husband's hometown. They had a wedding reception there for us. And then I had about 4 bridal showers, different bridal showers. It was unreal. I've never known of anybody to have so many showers
I got gypped.
and receptions, but we had nothing. We had absolutely nothing. So it really saved the day for us. But anyway.
Candy, do the hardcover books have cute sayings in them like the spiral?
Yes.
They do. Yep. Mary, love your books in our channel. I've given the books as gift, getting one for a graduation gift in June. Yay.
Oh.
Sandra, make a big meatloaf dinner 1, dinner 2 spaghetti and meatballs. Meatloaf cut up into squares. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Karen, love the full top bags. When I get large packs of burger, I make a bunch of patties for grilling. Yep. That's a great way to do it too. And Toti says, what do I do with all the butter flavored Crisco I bought at Christmas time? Use it. Put it in make your bread. Use it to fry stuff in. You can just use it.
Oh yeah, for all kinds of things.
That stuff is expensive. Just use it like you would any other.
I use it in cookies.
Grease. Yeah.
All my cookie recipes, I would use it in the cookie recipes, cake recipes, anything.
Yeah, that
any of your
expensive.
baking. Yeah.
Don't let it go to waste. Barbara, I need your assistance here to understand something. Is it unusual? Is it a usual thing for clergy to be activists or bring a lot of political activists to their sermons? Thanks. Well, so it kind of depends. So is it a usual thing? Yeah, it's probably becoming more common. Is it right or wrong if that's what you're asking? I don't know if that's what you're asking. So I would say that it's right if what they are talking about follows the Bible. And I would say that it's wrong if what they are talking about goes against the Bible.
And if that's all they do and they don't have anything else, that wouldn't be right. But if they have it as a part of the service, for a couple of minutes, or if they have it every once in a while for the service, that's okay too.
Yeah.
But Tara's right. Sometimes you have to do things like abortion issues and things like that. Really needs to be
Christians need to be standing up for this stuff.
You need to, and you need to know how to do it and what to do and different things like that, and what's going on. You need to be informed about it. But like Tara said, you just don't want it to be that's all, or it doesn't go with the Bible, what they're teaching and that type of thing.
Sandra, when my kids were small, they ate everything on their plates, small portions, limited the milk. Yep.
Yeah.
What we called a no thank you helping. Yep. You had to eat a small amount of vegetable. Yep. Tracy got married in 82. We were going to have a big wedding, but my best friend got married 3 months before us and cured me of wanting a big wedding. We got married on Wednesday night at our church after choir practice. We had one witness and their guest. We tipped the pastor $100. We took the money we would have spent on the wedding, bought our first house. Yeah. That's probably a good idea. Always have a mason jar of bacon grease in the fridge, Valerie says. Yep, I've got like 8 mason jars in the fridge right now. Ruth, she ordered all 3 books, supposed to arrive Tuesday, and I'm going to try the hamburger casserole first. Yay!
Oh,
thank you.
You.
And guys, only 48 hours left tomorrow. No, tomorrow's the last day. 24 hours left. So tomorrow's the last day before our sale ends for Mother's Day sale. It only happens twice a year that we go 40% off. So if you want a good deal, grab it now. Tammy, I bought volume 1 for a family member for Christmas. She didn't have most of the staples that we have in our pantry, so she had to go shopping. I have never had to do that yet.
Mm-hmm.
Grandma's So Happy says, we are amazing with wisdom and insight. Life-changing and really makes a difference to the meals.
Thank
home life.
you.
Thank you.
Now, these books are good too for graduation gifts, you know, because we're almost on Mother's Day, but we have more young men that love. I think because the recipes are simple enough and it's kind of home cooking that they like.
Yeah. Kathy says she loves the sound when the mouse traps snap.
Oh.
Oh, Kathy and I were.
Oh, Kathy. You know what I hate about mice is when you're sitting in the living room and all of a sudden you think you see something, but you think, did I see something? And then you think, oh no, I think I saw something. I just don't want to, I pretend like I didn't see something.
Maybe see 40 things the next time.
Yeah. Candy, oh my goodness, I have a hard time downgrading my cooking too. She was a mom at 12.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That would be hard. Yeah.
Chrissy made my gluten-free, dairy-free sandwich bread in the bread maker, and oh boy, it was yummy. Oh, thank you for telling me that worked. I was actually going to test that, so thank you so much. But guys, follow the directions exactly. It is wonderful, but yeah, I'm glad that you told me that because actually that was on my to-do list, one of the first things when I get the kitchen back. Priscilla's in Ireland. Hello.
Oh, hi.
Kimmy, my friend Kimmy, her channel is called She's in Her Apron. Go watch it. She's got really good stuff. And Kimmy says she doesn't know the crunch would be hard to forget. Whacking a mouse with the hammer. Yeah, I do kill spiders because Derek is a wimp. Oh, confession time.
Yeah, poor
this
Derek.
Big old
I'll have to
layer
bond.
guy, and he won't kill the spider.
Derek's really big guy.
I'll have to bond with Derek.
You'll have to bond with Derek.
Kimmy. Oh my goodness.
Dear. That's good.
Laura says, stop stuffing your face will be Tara's epitaph.
Oh, that's funny.
And on my tombstone, I'm going to say, I told you I was sick.
I told you I was sick. I know.
No, I'm just kidding. No, what I should put on there for my kids is I'm watching you.
Yeah, that would be good.
Oh, we went to the grave. My family was scandalous.
Oh, that was kind of interesting, wasn't it? I didn't realize it till you brought it up. Yeah, that was something. Oh my
so
goodness.
we went to the cemetery.
Cemetery. We had fun on our trip. We got to go to the cemetery.
We took Grandma to the cemetery to see Grandpa's grave. Okay, so Grandpa and Grandma and Grandma's mom are all buried. Well, Grandma's not buried yet, but they're all together. Okay, so Grandpa, then Grandma when she dies, and then her mom. Okay, but then if you go a couple of aisles down, Grandpa's mom and dad are buried there. But here's the scandalous part. So it's Grandpa's dad. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. Yes. Grandpa's dad and Grandpa's mom. No, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Is that right?
With the dish, come
Grandpa's
on.
dad and Grandpa's mom.
Mm-hmm.
Their best friends are right next
to them.
So then we had Grandpa's dad's best friend, husband.
And then his wife.
And his wife right here. And Grandpa's best friend and his mom got married. His Grandpa's dad's best friend and his mom got married.
Mm-hmm.
Very scandalous.
So my dad's mom married the guy in the best friend pair. And she's buried between
both
husbands.
And they both had the same tombstone.
They already had the plots bought before anybody had died.
Yeah.
Right there next to each other. Did they really plan that somehow? Did they kill somebody off? We wonder.
Makes you wonder in the family.
And they hadn't, my grandpa hadn't been dead for very long, had he, before she married the other one?
Well, and then Grandpa's dad and stepdad's wife died the same year within a couple of months. Of each
Yeah.
other.
And then my grandma and the other husband got married. Tara was figuring this all out. My mom was standing there, and we were all trying to figure these dates out. And
I'm like, you start looking at these dates on the tombstones, and you're like, don't know what's going on there. Not saying anything. Could be totally. Everybody was dead, but still, it's a little too coincidental if you ask me. I don't know. Could be a coincidence. Could be a coincidence. Cindy was binge watching last night and loved how to cook a turkey.
How to cook a turkey. Tara and her turkeys. Oh my goodness.
Oh, Joshua! He made the banana
Joshua.
bread today, and it was delicious. Thank you, Joshua. Guys, go check out his channel, Joshua Talks Food. We sent him a cookbook, and he's been cooking out of our cookbook.
Yeah,
he's a great guy.
How old is Joshua now?
I don't know. How old are you? You're probably 11 maybe? Somewhere around there.
Yeah.
11, 12, somewhere around there. Carol, and as for the mouse problem goes, we use decon, mouse proof, and just follow the directions. Yes, she has a dog, so she didn't want the dog to get sick from that. That's why she hasn't used decon, I think, for Wanda. Kim, I had 2 unplanned expenses this weekend: a broken truck window from vandalism and a washer with a water pump failure. I shopped around for the parts and found great deals.
Oh, very good.
Good job.
Very good. That's awful to have.
Lori says, your laugh is contagious, Jill. I put my Bluetooth speaker on while I cook dinner. Cheryl, I take Vienna sausages and cut them in two, fry and put them in hamburger buns. With mayo, tomato, and lettuce. Very tasty.
That would be good.
This phone's changing the words on these things. So if I say something weird,
phones.
yeah.
Oh, they're not.
Chrissy says their church did a potluck for their wedding. Yep. Oh, Deborah loved our wedding picture. Thank you. And so did Marie and Elizabeth. Barbara likes mac and cheese with ground turkey in it. Oh, that's probably good. Denise says she made ground beef Philly cheesesteaks casserole. Just used what she had on hand: ground beef, bell peppers, onion, cream cheese, beef broth, salt, pepper, garlic. Just topped it with provolone and served with pasta.
Oh,
Yum.
my, that sounds good.
Yeah. Lorraine says our live streams are the best, just like visiting with friends. Hello, friend.
Yeah.
Jane from the country. Tarn Mike, would you ever buy land and build a new home? No. There, I said it. No. After this remodel, no.
After the remodeling.
The people that
No more moving.
Mike said no, we're moving.
the people that bought this house. No, the people we bought this house from. They started working on building their house, I think, a year before we bought this house. And we drove by coming in from Colorado because they live out on the road coming in from Colorado. We're kind of sort of friends with them now. And they have barely gotten started.
And
2 years later.
Yeah.
So that means they've been working 3 years to get, and 2 of those years they were fighting the city for permits.
Yeah, things are getting a little bit rougher as in finding people that will do the work for you. It's getting getting the materials to come in. I'm surprised at how long it's been taking for stuff.
Barbara, what about Greek weddings? People pin money to the bride's dress for the money instead of the gifts. Well, I got ripped off. I'm Greek. Why didn't we do that?
Yeah, they do that at Greek weddings.
Grandma's holding out on me.
I know she is. My mom is half Greek, and so I'm a quarter Greek. So Tara has a touch of it in her.
Makes me barely Greek.
I was going to say that you have a touch of it in you.
Wanda, she gets a laugh out of the typos. Yeah. She's in her apron, or Kimmy says, have goalie proofread it. Oh, yeah. Goalie's really good at proofreading.
Yeah,
I have actually
I
had her
too.
proofread my stuff. Goalie is really good.
Mhm.
Call me and let me know if you guys are going to use them. Or just text me is fine. Mike, do you have the next one? Let's see. We have Nancy wants to know which of the cookbooks has the moist chocolate cake in it. It's my husband's favorite, along with the icing and the frosting right here. That's the one to use. And if you guys are gluten-free, dairy-free, and are the green one right here, that if you guys want real baked goods that taste like normal, eating gluten-free, those are the ones to have. Let's see. Did you get it sent, dear? Oh, hold on. Okay. Michelle says there's YouTubers that go to hoarders' house and clean them for free. They always talk about mice. Really gross. I'm not sure why people watch these videos. Yeah. Well, so they can appreciate their house.
Or motivates them to get up and clean their house.
Yeah. Barbara says, I think you knew who I was talking about. Appreciate your reply. I was just wasn't sure if that was okay for clergy to do. Now I understand and I'm fine with it now. Your opinion matters. So the person you're talking about, yes. And he has talked about that before, and their separation of church and state is not what people really think it is. Mm-hmm. And if a church is not willing to stand up for things that the Bible says are wrong, but they promote things like abortion, that type of thing, or the whole we're really happy people, those types of things are 100% against the Bible. If a pastor is not going to stand up against that because of their tax exemption, then you don't want to be going to that church. The church needs to lose their tax exemption. If that's the possibility, the pastor needs to have enough guts to stand up and say, no, I'm willing to lose that in order to stand for the truth. So yes, if you're wondering on that. And okay, let me get through these questions here. I'm giving my daughter your cookbook for her very first Mother's Day, says Denise.
Oh, that's great. Sweet.
Susan says, but y'all are tired. Y'all have had a busy week. Yes.
Yep. We're on our last
We're ready
leg.
for our sale to be over with. We'll just say that. Jennifer says, my kids just bought me volume 1 for Mother's Day 5 minutes ago. I should go tell them. Oh, that's so nice of them to buy that for you.
That's our kind of shopping. It really is.
Yeah. Jack and Dave bought me some strawberries and they didn't know it either. So.
One thing about us having chronic fatigue, I'll have Tara buy me something, or I'll buy something within a week, we totally forget that we did that. So it's kind of nice having the chronic fatigue for that.
Candy, it is always shocking to me too. How do you put your own eyes and others' eyes on a book so many times? The mistakes just jump off the page as soon as it's published. I know.
Yeah.
Oh, I was horrified our first time we had. And what's even worse is this actually ruined the recipe. So it was the toffee recipe. And I think I think it was 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar instead of 1/4. I can't remember. It was one or the way or the other. And it actually ruined the recipe.
Yeah.
And so
that was horrible.
I was horrified, absolutely horrified. But we at first were handwriting in there, correcting every single book. Mm-hmm. So if you have that book, you really have a collector's item. But then we started just putting a note in there saying this is wrong, because we started finding more typos. So we had to put a little sheet of paper in there with all the typos. So
that was when we first started.
That was the very first one.
That was rough. That's why when people say, oh, I want to write a cookbook, or I can't wait to write a book, what do you suggest for us? We always say,
run.
No.
Run.
Because people don't have any idea what's really involved in it.
And I will say, at any time, this could be the last run. I'm not kidding.
Uh-huh.
So anyway, Crazy Cat. I don't understand people these days. Sometimes they're still paying for the wedding while they're paying for their divorce.
I know. Isn't that the truth?
Maybe if they wouldn't have paid for the wedding, they wouldn't have been getting divorced.
Probably getting a divorce because they're so bad in debt.
Oh my goodness. And Anchors and Arrows is making the meatloaf from volume 1, the red one, right now. She watches. Yay. Probably done by now. Jennifer says we asked for wedding needs as wedding gifts for our family. Yep.
Mm-hmm. That's what we always do.
Oh, she got married in Chautauqua Park.
Oh, did you?
We know that
yeah,
park so
we
well.
do.
Shield Maiden says we do early suppers because of sports, but then they still want a snack afterwards. Yeah, but at least you're not eating out. That's great.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's great.
That's really good.
Greta, thank you. We eat dinner 7:30, then dessert, then it's bedtime. That's probably why we're overweight. That's exactly why
I was
we're
going to say
overweight.
that earlier when we were talking about it. Eating early
Yeah.
really makes a difference, for.
If I would just stop eating after dinner, I would be great,
Mhm.
but I don't. Candy says my husband worked nights and we homeschooled. I would make our big meal lunch. Yep. There you go.
We did that too in the summer because my husband worked at home and the kids were off school, and it would be so hot. So I would make the big meal, at noon. And then I wasn't in a hot kitchen because our kitchen was on the west side, and I didn't have to be in the hot kitchen then during the summer.
Yep. Jessica and Carrie both like watching the replays. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Carrie bought the gluten-free cookbook to make meals for her hubby. Thank you.
Very good.
And he will actually like them because they're good. Wanda, does a pre-made hamburger have more meat in it? Fresh ones or frozen?
Maybe hamburger patties. Is that what she's talking about?
Does the pre-made hamburger have more than the meat in it? Fresh ones or frozen? I don't understand what that means.
She means like meat and other ingredient.
Well, I mean, all the fat's cooked out, so that's why we use like 3/4 of a pound instead of a pound. But
Fillers or seasonings or something like that.
I'm not quite sure what you're asking, Wanda. Denise says, "Yep, we had sandwiches and cake in church basement. People over to our house. Yep." Kimberly says, "Popcorn was cereal during the Depression." Yep.
Yeah.
Ruth, good day from Australia. Man, what's with all the Australians? Hello, guys.
I know.
So for all of you guys, somebody asked what the green chilies are. I showed it earlier, but just in case, hold on. I have to cover mom's face. Oops, in my face. Hold on. Cover all the faces. This is what green chilies look like in America. So I don't know if I doubt you have anything like this, but it's just green chili peppers and water. So if you can grow green chilies, get yourself some, not this time of year, I guess, over there.
Yeah, because it's winter.
When spring hits in November, that seems so weird.
I know, that's so funny, guys.
Grow some green chilies and you can just use them, chop them up and freeze them. And then that's the green chilies. If you like Mexican food, do they even eat Mexican food in Australia?
Yeah, do you guys have Mexican food in Australia?
They wouldn't have Mexican food in Australia. Why would they have Mexican food in Australia? There's no border there.
People might still like it.
They might still like it. Let us know if you guys are from Australia.
Yeah, but they don't have that culture in their country.
Yeah, but we eat curry from India, and we're not next door to India.
Well, true.
So let us know if you guys.
That's true. Man, everybody's ordering the books. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Tomorrow's the last day of the sale, so get it now. Grandma, when I got married, the leftover mints she froze, and a cousin used them in their wedding. That's great. Oh, I love those wedding mints. Oh my goodness, they are so delicious.
And we do have them in the book.
Volume 1. Oh my goodness, they're so good.
And they're not that hard to make.
But they're so good.
They're really good.
Belinda, wishing you both a happy Mother's Day. Thank you. Oh, it's Mother's Day in Australia too. Well, there you go.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Happy Mother's Day.
In fact, have Mexican restaurants in Australia.
Well, they do have Mexican restaurants in Australia. I'm sorry. I have never been to Australia, so I did not know this.
One thing on the mints, you don't have to have those mints just for weddings. They would be fun to do for like any holiday. Yeah. You can use different molds, and different colors, and use them for all the different holidays. Those mints are good. They're not that expensive to make. I think they're just sugar, aren't they? And
it's cream cheese and sugar and mint oil.
Yeah, but it goes a long way. Those ingredients go a long way. Make a lot.
Yeah. Wanda says, does the pre-made hamburger patties have only the meat, no fillers in them? Oh, yes. I just do the meat so that then I can just use it however I want. And then I just add the filler stuff later, the seasonings and everything. Debbie says she made the pound cake on Sunday and it's amazing. Thank you. I know, I love that.
I love that pound cake. That was my mom's recipe.
Yep. No way she made stir fry. She used leftover rice. Yep. 40% off right now, guys. Our Mother's Day sale is ending tomorrow. Tomorrow. The Mother's Day sale ends tomorrow. So you better go buy your book or you have to wait till Black Friday. Because we only do it twice a year, guys. What was that song from? Annie. Did I ever see Annie?
I don't think I ever saw it.
I don't know if I ever saw Annie.
Mm-mm.
Good afternoon from New Zealand. She loves our cookbooks. The
New
basic bread recipe is hands down the best. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, New Zealand. My
Please, more
goodness.
cooking shows. So Mike and I were talking about that today. Might try a few after I had my meltdown from doing 8 hours of cataloging our video footage, which I hate doing. So we were talking about that today. We might try some as soon as the kitchen's done. We'll see. I don't know what we're gonna do. Yeah.
Yeah, she's
So-
mostly waiting for the kitchen to get done now is what's happening.
Yes.
When you were singing the Annie song, I thought you were going to say when you were a kid, you were singing, "It's the hard knock life." For
I thought I was gonna sing "It's a Hard Knock Life." Well, I should sing that too. Yeah. Stephanie says doesn't blame me for wanting to move. Yes. Someone that loves your waterfall, my dearest. Schnookums over there.
there it is. Yeah, actually, this picture is taken from way above it, and we're actually down really close to it. It looks like one of those giant waterfalls in Hawaii or something. You know, about an hour from us. So it was one of the hikes we did last year.
Sandy, my sister had a Polish wedding and wore a money apron in the reception line. Now that's the way to go.
That would be
Wow.
fun too.
Crazy Cat Lady, we redid our bathroom a few years ago. Took 3 weeks, drove me crazy. I can't imagine having kitchen done for months. Well, and what's more frustrating is we honestly thought it would be done around the 1st of March. We really did. And but I was giving myself until April. We thought it would be done the first week of March. So I was giving myself till the 1st of April. Now it's going to be the middle of June. Yeah. So Elizabeth says the plots at the cemetery knew. Elizabeth said my mother's father, her mother's father, married her mother's sister. Ooh.
Oh, that's even more scandalous, I'm sure.
Actually, we're joking, but that was really common back then
Mhm.
because people already knew each other, and when a spouse would die, you'd kind of just marry the next person in line.
Yeah, you almost had to think things were hard enough that you had to you needed two people to
Make
deal
it,
with
yeah.
life and everything, you
Yeah.
know.
Did we put the list of typos in the website for each edition? We used to, but we don't anymore because people stop asking. So Jay says, get the cookbooks. I bought 2 at regular price and it's worth it. Oh, thanks.
Thank you.
Elizabeth says, oh yeah. Okay. Got that one. And Jay says the bean goulash is so good.
That
So
bean
good.
goulash is just
Yep. I'm so excited to see the kitchen done and Tara in it. Next, I'm looking forward to the reveal of Mike's brilliant idea. So actually, Mike's brilliant idea will probably come before the kitchen. Maybe 2 weeks. It could be as early as a week. It could be the Tightwad Tuesday, a week from a Tuesday, possibly. I don't know if I can get it done that quick, but I don't know. What do you think, dear? Do you think I could get done that quick? I don't know.
I think maybe you can. Okay, maybe you can. After today, I'm not so sure.
I said I think maybe you can. Maybe after today, I'm not so sure. Sorry, my mic was off.
Yeah. I don't know. Barbara says, remember when the show when Tara and Mike could see the tornado from your yard? I know. Tana, our viewer Tana, she sent me a picture of a guy in Wyoming, and there was a tornado in the mountains sucking up the snow.
just recently.
Yeah, today, like yesterday or today.
Oh my word.
Let's see, it would have been yesterday, I think. I've never seen that before. And I don't think I'm pretty good at telling. Mike does Photoshop a lot, and I can tell I'm pretty good at telling Photoshop. It didn't look Photoshop to me.
Well,
Could have been,
I
but-
started to text you, except I was driving, going home last night, and the clouds looked so bad out that direction. I was going to tell you if I was in Kansas, I would be saying those are tornado clouds
Yeah.
because they were dropping down that really strange way. That's something. So it probably was because they
Yeah.
looked pretty bad.
Sandy says, my first husband died and I married his brother. We have a family bush, not a tree.
Family bush. That's good.
my
Oh,
goodness.
that's cute.
And he says a snow NATO.
Yeah, snow NATO.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
my daughter, they had really bad storms down in Colorado, and they were my cousin, my grandma called, and my cousin, I guess, had 2 feet of hail in his driveway, and he was shoveling it with the snow with the snow shovel.
That's why I had my cell phone with me last night. I don't usually keep my phone with me at all, but Ellie said that they were under a tornado warning where she was in around Denver area, and
Yeah.
so I was listening for that
Yeah.
yesterday.
Wanda says maybe if I put up pictures and stuff, I'd like my house better. Yes. Okay. I was gonna stop, but I gotta say something about this.
She's so mad at me for not putting pictures. I had pictures up.
No, I wasn't gonna yell at you.
Oh, I
See,
was ready
you
for
falsely accused me.
You should. Yelling at me.
Can I say what I was?
You may
say?
say. You may say. You may say.
Wanda, hang up the pictures. Here's the thing. People watch all these minimalist shows. Now,
Oh,
as
yeah,
you
I
guys
don't-
know, I am not a minimalist by
No.
any stretch of the imagination, nor do I want to be a minimalist. I don't care if you are a minimalist, you go right ahead and that's fine. But something I've noticed with minimalism and this big thing that people are pushing is, and it's fine if that makes you feel
If it
less
makes you feel
anxious or
comfortable,
comfortable, that's fine.
yeah, you
that's
need to do
totally
it.
fine. But what I've noticed is it's so sterile that it's almost anxiety inducing because it is so sterile. Everything has to be exactly in place all the time. And there's nothing really nice and pretty, and it's just all white and stark. And the thing is, you can't relax in that kind of environment. And I always wanted to do, maybe this will be I think I'm going to quit tomorrow, and this is going to be my new YouTube channel. I have always wanted, since I was a little kid, and I don't know how I came up with this idea because we didn't have the internet back then, but I always wanted to go into places that were really poverty stricken, like Mississippi. And I'm only saying that because Mississippi is the poorest state in the United States. I ain't picking on Mississippi, but go to some place like Mississippi where it's really, really poor and go in and fix up some of these houses, even if it's just a trailer. It doesn't matter if it's trailer. I've lived in trailer houses and I still had stuff hanging on the walls and I got it fixed up. I planted flowers. It's a trailer house, but it was a cute trailer house. Well, that one wasn't a cute trailer house, but I did the best that I could. And the thing is, it makes you feel so much more comfortable and relaxed when you have things that you like and you enjoy, and you can just sit there and enjoy the things that you have and not worry about keeping everything so neat and tidy. Like we had one person in our family, and I mean, you basically couldn't breathe in their house. And it was so stressful. They were always hollering to keep things picked up and running fingers along the tops of pictures for dusting. And it's like, okay, yeah, you need to dust the tops of your pictures. I'm not saying you shouldn't. But when you're that persnickety that you have to do it all the time and it's stressing everybody out, there's a problem. So, guys, hang up some pictures. Enjoy your home. Make it nice, make it cozy. Everybody hollers at me for buying so much junk. I'm not buying junk. I'm actually buying things that I plan on using as soon as we can get the remodel done. But I'm not putting it up now because I'll just have to go and re-clean it again. And so, but I have all these things that I'm going to put up, and it's not about the things, but my goodness, make your home a home.
Well, one along that line a little bit, one thing that makes me really sad is when I've gone to like women's shelters and places like that, and I feel so bad because they have them so nondescript, you know, they don't have any, they could paint, the walls are these dingy, dirty colors, and the bedspreads or bed coverings are just these dull, you know, like really dull colors. There's nothing bright and vibrant. to just paint them inside would look so nice. And it doesn't cost that much to do that, you know, and you can get volunteers to paint it. Hopefully you could, you know, and that type of thing. And they have no pictures on the wall, or I know there may be some kind of restrictions. I understand that, but I would think they could do something to at least by pretty colored, you know, blankets and things like that to go into these shelters and stuff.
Yeah.
And it makes a difference. It would be so, or nursing homes, you know,
Yeah.
something like that. They don't have to have these, like I've seen more nursing homes that have furniture and decorations that the nursing home people have put in there that's from like the 1980s. It doesn't, you don't, I think the point we're trying to make, it doesn't cost that much.
Yeah.
To do this. People say, well, we just don't have the money coming in. I'm sorry. It doesn't cost. I bought decoration. I paid $10 decoration. And I bought pictures and things I needed for the whole house just about with $10, you know, so you can do stuff like that.
Well, I furnished my entire first house for $250 for everything. I mean, we're talking beds, couch, everything, all the silverware I needed, everything. And it doesn't cost a lot of money, but I think a lot of people being depressed is sitting in houses that they don't like.
Yeah.
Now, if you have too much clutter and it's stressing you out, well, then pare it down,
Get
of
it down.
course.
Yeah.
Don't have so much stuff that you're being stressed out about it. But at the same time, if it's not inviting and you don't feel comfortable in it, go to the thrift store, go to garage sales, and get you a few things to perk the place up.
And if you think you can't do it yourself because you don't feel good or you just can't think what to do, find a friend or somebody that you does a really good job at that and have them, you know, come and help you. I was going through a phase where I just didn't know what to do for clothes. I was just brain dead. That was at the time when my husband was leaving and everything, and I needed to get something new for clothes. And I had a really good friend that she dressed beautifully. And so she had a bunch of stuff she was getting rid of, and I was throwing the outfit on. She said she was going to give them to me, and I was trying this outfit on. I said, oh, this doesn't work and this doesn't work. You know, I was just throwing it on. I wasn't even buttoning the stuff up halfway. And she said, Jill, let me help you get yourself straightened up here, you know. And she got the dress on me proper, and it did look cute, but I just didn't feel like bothering at the time. So having somebody alongside you, you know, can help if you are getting depressed and don't feel like doing it. Because sometimes when you get depressed, you just can't think, you know, it's just too hard. So if you can get somebody, you know, you want to do it, if you can get somebody in to do something like that to help you.
So Wanda, I want tomorrow's show, I want at least 2 pictures on the wall.
2 pictures. Poor Wanda.
And 3 more mice dead.
And 3 more mice. Listen, if I had her mouse problem, I wouldn't be wanting pictures myself.
Here's the newest suggestion for Wanda's mouse problem.
Okay.
Come from another viewer, which was kind of interesting. I never heard this one. She said, go buy boxes of Jiffy Mix with the sugar and everything. No, you haven't heard this one. Wait till you hear this one. Boxes of Jiffy Mix. She said, put it in a little bowl with hole in the side, I think. Pour the Jiffy Mix in with plaster of Paris. And she said,
dry.
And then the mice eat it, and it probably just seizes up their insides. And now you have little statue mice. But anyway, she said that it works really good, and within just a little while, all the mice will be dead.
Well, yeah, I would think so. Oh my goodness.
I don't know.
But
so, Wanda, you need to let us know if that works.
That was the principle with the baking soda, because it gets on their insides. They eat the cornmeal with this stuff in it.
Well, maybe it won't explode them. Maybe it'll just
that might be better not to explode them.
Petrify them.
Yeah, do the plaster of Paris.
Plastodermy. Oh my goodness, Denise. There you go.
Oh, you guys. One doesn't think of the other does. Oh my goodness.
No, that's fine. Okay, guys, 40% off for Mother's Day sale. 24 hours left. We're going to go live tomorrow for the last day of our Mother's sale. I don't know what we're talking about tomorrow, but
Have some questions for
Huh?
us tomorrow too, guys, if you have something.
what? Oh, what do you guys want us to talk about tomorrow? Mike
Yeah, what
wants
do you
to know.
want? And get some questions ready for us for tomorrow.
Mike wants to know, what do you want us to talk about for our final live for the Mother's Day sale? But 24 hours left, 40% off. We only do this 2 times a year, Mother's Day and Black Friday. So you're going to have to wait, till Black Friday if you want it this cheap again, because I ain't moving. And that's the only other times I've marked them down. All right, let's see if anybody has any suggestions for tomorrow's show, what they want to hear us do. Oh, groceries. Oh, I could do that.
Groceries.
How to make different dinners out of leftovers.
Okay, let's see.
Cindy likes a great idea.
What are some of them?
Barbara says she's always looking for her books at Goodwill and never finds them. Yeah, I know. I know I will hit it big time. I know I will hit it big time when I find our book at the thrift store, and I have not yet. 25 years.
Why would you hit
next
big
year,
time?
because then I know if I see my book at the thrift store, we've sold enough books that I've
Now,
actually
see,
found it at the
I
thrift store.
think it's a good sign because people like our books so well, they're not getting rid of them.
I know, but I'm
So,
just saying that
yeah.
we've sold so many books then.
So,
Let's see.
Michelle, low groceries.
Groceries.
guys.
Naomi, how to appreciate what you have better by not spending money.
Mm.
Yeah.
Did you see Denise's about that? Get your dinners out of leftovers.
Cooking dinners out of leftovers. The
Yeah.
problem is I kind of need to do that I guess we could go through a list. We kind of did that, but all right. Mortgage payoff versus repairs. Well, that's a good one.
Mhm.
Your favorite after gardening meals. Mike cooking.
My cooking. Did you guys see the
Joe's.
joke? What was that you put in there with, it looked like a bomb? Atomic bomb had been blown off.
I
And it
don't know.
shows the gal in the garden. And she said,
Oh, it was a dust. It was like a nuclear bomb cloud or dust storm or something. I don't know, big bomb cloud. It was during that thing going around is when it first came out, but go ahead.
I can't remember what.
Oh, so it was it looked like a big dust storm or thunderstorm or something, or nuclear bomb or something, big cloud thing was coming at her. And she said, I'm just here tending my garden.
my little garden. I'm just here
Just
tending
here
my
tending
little
my
garden.
little garden. Jolene, they want to see the stockpile again. Well,
Gotta refill it.
yeah, I gotta
Gotta
refill
refill
it.
it.
Actually, that's a video that I have planned to film with Sumner, is me working on my stockpile room. It's a mess right now.
Patty says somebody else.
Vacationing on a dime. I don't know what that is. Designing your home on a budget. How to stock your pantry.
Those are all good suggestions.
Maybe we should talk about how to save on groceries.
Just save on groceries.
Repair your home or sell it, especially when it's paid off. Several meals without heating up the kitchen. Stockpile.
Let's stock your pantry.
Okay. Well, how to stock your pantry. Okay, those are some ideas. I don't know what we'll do.
Well, no matter what, put some of these and questions for tomorrow. To give us, so we can answer
Yeah.
the questions too and stuff.
Sea lions, my current health protocol and tips. I did a video on that not that long ago, actually. You just go search it up. Probably search fibromyalgia. It was like, I don't know, 3-6 months ago. It wasn't very long. I'm just doing the same thing, so you can check that. My biggest meal flops. Oh, those are recorded.
Those are, yes, you can
Just
find
go
those.
look
easy.
for the
We should do a whole
turkey
compilation
on
of those.
fire, the Thanksgiving dinner on fire one. That's
Oh,
probably
my.
I
mine.
have to say, as her husband, that when she's had a flop, she almost always manages to spin it into something that doesn't seem like a flop after all.
I'm just that good.
Listen to you.
Remember that later, dear.
When she dropped the turkey on the floor and she said, "Oh, that's okay. It's still clean." And she picks it up and gonna serve it for Thanksgiving dinner.
I think my grandma had the biggest laugh out of that one over all of it. Our most appreciated Mother's Day memories. I have no Mother's Day
We don't have
memories.
memories of those things. Actually, we don't do holidays very well in a
No.
way. We're
Not
too.
anymore.
We're just too sick and too tired, and
Antisocial.
and antisocial.
Dagmar, compare house costs in Wyoming versus Colorado. Well, the housing costs are about the same between here and Colorado, but the taxes, we saved $20,000 last year on our taxes by moving to Wyoming. So, because they have no corporate taxes, really. I mean, they have corporate taxes, but they're not as bad as Colorado. Income tax, they don't have income tax here, right? Food tax, they don't have. And the car and registration taxes were a lot cheaper. So between everything, we saved a huge amount, especially for, like income and corporate for us. Now for mom, it won't change,
Well,
from
yeah,
Kansas,
for me, it was
any,
a
but-
lot. It was harder because my house taxes were more than they were in Kansas.
Because she was getting the old people's homes. What do you
They
call it?
have a
Homestead
homestead
Act.
thing, so
Yeah.
but they were still a lot high. Of course, my house was more.
Our taxes are cheaper because Wyoming doesn't exist.
Yeah,
Oh,
our
yeah.
taxes are cheaper because Wyoming doesn't exist.
Wyoming doesn't exist, guys.
Lisa said ideas for tomorrow, so ask people to share their most frugal tips.
Ask people to share their most frugal tips. Yeah, we could
That's
do
a
that.
good idea.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What's our favorite homemade dinner that realize it's quick and easy? Well, that was this show, Belinda.
Yeah.
Firefly says, I'll send photos of my garage and the night. Oh, and then, okay, I'll send photos of my garage and the nightmare. It will make you feel better about your kitchen. Well, what's sad about my kitchen is we're sitting here looking at this totally pristine, empty kitchen. It looks beautiful. It's just pristine, empty. In the background.
Yeah.
In the foreground, we have 6 inches to walk between the trash can, my chair, and the stairs.
Got a couple of trash cans right there at the end of the
Yeah.
couch and piles of boxes
Yeah.
and everything
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
And I think you've changed the clock every day that I've come over. The clock,
Oh, I have
clock has
not.
moved from this wall to that wall, then back again.
I was painting the wall. I had to take it down to paint it.
So everything just keeps moving. Jack's behind. I can see a little part of his head sticking up from him doing the computer because there's so many boxes piled in front
I
of him.
am getting my plants planted. As a matter of fact, I'm going to finish some tonight. I don't know what happened to me. I really don't want to garden this year. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Well, doing the remodeling kind of takes it out of a person.
But I have this huge shelving unit. By the way, do you want it for your garage
Oh,
to put in front of your car there? Because it'll fit there.
I
You want it?
probably not.
I
for
think you
now.
need it.
I don't think I can fit it in there still.
I think you can. I will fit it in there for you.
I'm having real trouble with storage. Go ahead.
But we can take the pieces off like this.
I know.
And so the what was I even talking about? I can't remember. Oh yeah. So I have some of my plants, my geraniums that I started on this great big shelf in the dining room window because I only get like 3 hours of sun. That's the only place to get like 3 hours of sun. And so I was like, okay, I'm just going to get all those planted today. It's raining. It's really good. Well, I didn't get it done today because I had the dumb Colorado video, but I'm going to get those planted and get that stuff cleared out so that we can start getting some semblance of normalcy back to our life. But I think by the end of next week, the countertop will be dry. And at least I can start putting most of the stuff back into the kitchen. And well, we can't get a hold of the plumbers now. The faucet came in today and now we can't get a hold of the plumbers. The plumbers came like within 2 hours last time. And now Mike's been calling them all week and can't get a hold of them. So we need the plumbers to come because I don't have
I'm like, oh, you again. Just kidding.
They have to install something on the sink that's particularly
Well,
yeah. Well, we were going to have them do the faucet while they were there, but Jolene, is the ice maker working right yet? I don't know. We got to put in my Dollar Tree ice bin now. It makes me so mad. I was showing that to the contractors and they were just like, you paid $2,000 for this refrigerator and that's what you got? I'm like, yeah. But anyway, so I don't know if the ice maker's working yet, but Does Wyoming have a senior or widow discount? They don't. I'm surprised they don't, though. You asked at this county or the city?
I asked, and they said they were really vague about it. And they said, well, you need to call first thing next year. And when you get your appraisal, but yeah, sometimes we do. Sometimes it just depends on what year it is, if we're going to do that or not.
Oh, well, did you call?
Oh, no, I just got my appraisal, so I haven't had a chance when we left for the trip.
You only
So,
have 30 days.
huh?
If you get a question, you only have 30 days.
No. Well, they're talking about like a Homestead Act senior discount thing.
Yeah.
That's not 30 days usually.
No, they just said they would know.
But
They would know at this time, not a deadline.
well, because they're having a huge thing because our prices are basically as bad as Colorado now. And so they're having a huge thing with taxes here because all the property taxes are going up and all the seniors can't pay their taxes. So
yeah.
anyway, although they're not that bad. I mean, if you're on Social Security like mom, but you know, they're probably compared to New Jersey, they're really good. But anything compared to New Jersey's, you know, really high. I don't see how people are still living in New Jersey. It's ridiculous. But all right. livingonadime.com, 40% off our Mother's Day sale right now, guys. Only 2 times a year, and it ends tomorrow. Visit us at livingonadime.com. We'll be back on at 4:30 tomorrow for our final live for our sale. Have a good night.
Bye-bye, guys. Love ya.